As famed dungeon masters Spandau Ballet once said, when advising a new player on how to play a rogue, gold! Always be stealing that gold. You got the power to know you're undetectable. Always be stealing. Welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dumpster fire that is 2020 using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. A couple of announcements before we start the show proper. Wes, welcome back. We heard you moved to a lovely big farm upstate.
Yes, I think you were all shocked I wasn't dead, but it's good to know that I'm now an announcement and not an obituary. It's also good to know that you've been, well, singing is a stretch, doing spoken word songs at the top of every episode, even though I've been gone. Especially because I've been gone.
I'm working on it, you know.
I
thought that one was all right.
Yeah, that was very upsetting to me because they make me cringe, but I love that song very much. So it's it's a conflict of interest.
Maybe you got the correct balance of like we just love it.
Pleasures.
That's fair. Do I hate music? No, that's
Lucy and me are all snapsies on the mugs.
Snapsies.
Clink.
Oh, nice.
Virtual cheers. It's like when a makeup person does that thing and they're transformed into an actual DM. Other announcements, we're once again joined by special guest Ash Minnick. Ash, new backdrop. How's everything with you?
Oh, good. I got an office because the last 4 months I've been working out of our dining room. And now I have a room with walls and a door that I can work in because I work entirely remote. So it's really great.
Sweet freedom.
That is good news.
America's still on fire, but I'm doing well.
You haven't fixed that yet?
I'm working on it. I really am.
Set your sprinklers on all the time. That's good.
Yeah.
Terrible for water conservation. Great for human conservation.
That's the next step. We'll worry about that later. That's for Gen Z.
Well, yeah, that's next generation's problem. That's how we live our lives. Oh, sweet. I just cleared my move bar. That's how active being a DM is. We'll fire through these announcements. We are once again proudly partnered with Dakota Irish, purveyors of finely handcrafted dice trays, towers, dice sets. We got promo codes coming out of our zoos. Homebrew 10, that's the one you can use on Dakota Irish's site to get 10% off your purchases. We're talking Irish chestnut, Irish yew, black walnut. The Dakota Irish team are super nice, super accommodating, and for some trays, I only learned this recently, shows how much I know, you can customize your lining. Get a bit of that blue suede, baby. Get that blue suede with the black walnut. I don't know if
red
that's
velvet, surely.
Yeah, there's some crushed velvet on there that is nice.
We also have a coffee account. It's not for us. It's sort of like a Goodwill coffee account, but that's coffee. And just you'll find us at Homebrew Quest. There should also be a link on the stream overlay somewhere. You can click that. But essentially, what we do is we sort of do this show in our spare time every 2 weeks. We're all it's a passion project more than career prospects, I guess. But we didn't want to use our platform for nothing. So we wanted to use it for goodwill and charity. And anything you donate to our coffee account, any coffee you buy us, goes to Masai, the movement of asylum seekers in Ireland. They do some incredible work sort of giving a voice to the voiceless and making sure that when asylum seekers come to Ireland, they're treated fairly and as human beings and not just as stats on paper. And also a huge thank you to everyone who has bought us a coffee. You guys are absolute legends. Really appreciate it. We've been sort of in lump sums at the end of every month, sending that on to Masai. I think coffee takes a cut, rounded up. So if it's a €3 coffee, we send the full €3 to Masai and we just make the difference up from the PayPal account you set up. If you are watching on demand, you can still toss us a coin. We'll bundle it all together and send it to Masai in that lump sum. And then I think before we get to the adventure proper, this is Homebrew. We drink some brews. Let's find out what everyone's drinking. What brew are you sipping? Starting with, on the overlay, I think it's Gav. Am I going the right way?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grab them, Ash.
I have a Lervig grapefruit serendipity. It is. I've had 2 sips. It is delicious. It is also 9.2%. So don't make me do anything challenging in the second half of this episode, Ben.
Fair. That sweet monologue that we set up. It's 3 hours away from.
Yeah, let's get into Rian's backstory. Okay.
My father was
on
a terrible
the
man.
clockwise circle is Ash. Ash, you're in the States, so it's noon where you are.
It is noon. I went again with because we didn't ever use either of these names, so I've got a thistle beverage, a juice, and it's autumn. So we've got thistle and autumn, and this is the one with carrot, orange, and camu. So how fancy, how Californian of me.
Next up, Wes, you're back. You're back. You're locked. What are you drinking?
I'm back and I'm drinking an assortment of White Hag brews, including one that is apparently a collaboration brew with the Doe Brews. It's just called New World IPA. It is so far very refreshing, and it is, see if I can keep up with Gav, now 5.4%. So reasonable, but half as powerful as the potent brews he's
Just drink twice as much.
That's fair. This is why we bring you along. You can solve the basic mathematical issue.
Yeah. I am drinking Wicklow Wolf Arcadia, which I think I've had before. Have we had a character? Because Arcadia is such a lovely name.
Yeah, there's a
I feel
bar
like we must have.
called the Arcadia somewhere.
Okay, cool.
Wicklow's very fun though as well.
Yeah, just the general Wicklow Wolf.
We've had a few Wicklow Wolves and then never named anything after any of them, I don't think.
No.
In my notes, there was talk of you coming across a pack of Wicklow wolves, and then you got so high level that like a wolf encounter is just cruel on the wolves.
That could just be a gang of young lads then.
Yeah, just give them
Unless you
beholder
befriend
stat
them.
box and send them our way. You know,
It's true. Who doesn't want a wolf companion?
A 6-pack of Wicklow wolves come your way, crashing through the thistle brush. Hey, look at that, 2 in one go. Keelan, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Blacks of Kinsale 1601 lager. Not drank it before. It has the advantage of being gluten free.
Oh,
You know.
Same Z's.
Yeah.
Same.
It's nice. It's pretty standard. I like the Blacks of Kinsale beers. I hadn't had this one, but yeah, kind of your stock standard beer as far as I'm concerned. But nice.
Nice. And I am drinking, because I forgot to start with myself, something called Agro Light. It's a local IPA. Not what I started with. I had a cheeky little cider before the show, which also has a very cool name, Hawks.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool.
You've a mighty hoard of cans waiting to be eaten through as well. I saw your
I
photos.
do, yes. So the one from the photo we posted up on our social channel. If you don't follow us on social, we are Homebrew Quest. You'll get a couple of behind-the-scenes pics of cans and stuff. Follow us there for the beer and things. Follow us here for AT&T News. I have a mighty hoard of cans. I've gotten through a lot of them.
Yeah.
But this weekend...
In Ireland, does can also mean butt?
No,
No.
Really, no.
Sadly not.
Although a bag of cans would be a whole other thing now, I suppose.
they're just very tight jeans.
Yeah.
Although I guess sometimes it's also your bosom. Get a load of cans.
Get a load of
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's can singular and then cans. You're right. What a complicated language.
Yeah.
We also don't have that sweet fanny mistranslation. Fanny here is something way different to a can in America.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he'd be chasing your fanny to get to the end of this loop of language.
Our president grabs fannies.
He does grab fannies.
Sure does.
They let you. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. So there you go. Come to America. Grab all the fannies you want. It's fine.
Come to Ireland. Grab yourself a bag of cans.
Yeah.
We used to work for the Cross-Atlantic Tourism Boards. It's the Fanny and Can show. Over here.
Well, that's what this was. Yeah.
Sounds like a bordello.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, that's Agro Light is what I was drinking there. I think that gets us through all our announcements. Obviously, I say that as if it's a dismissive announcement. Huge thank you to our tech crew. I wasn't just throwing it away like a bullet point on my list of notes. But a huge thanks to our tech crew, Paul and Angus. They are the guys who run the stream behind the screen. You can see Paul, I think, on your screen now in his little bat cave. Or legally distinct cave. It's a little rat cave.
I don't think Paul's going to have to stream because we've got
His
a cast
rat
of 6
cave?
this evening, and
Yeah.
that means one of us has to disappear, and I won't stand for that.
True.
Oh, damn it, he got rid of all of us.
Now, without
He
further
is
ado,
God.
grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. And imagine, if you will, the shivering sound of rain, the light, oppressive showers of an overcast day. The weather's not bad enough to stop you going about your errands, but it soaks into everything you do and it sticks to your mood. There's no promise of cloud break or a streak of prismed rainbow across the sky. It's just this internally soft, muggy day. And this is how the gods of Hibernia began describing Avandra, the goddess of travel and freedoms, different to the rest of them, as if cut from a separate cloth entirely. No longer competing in the Cheltenham Games, vying for a chance of enacting her will on the mortals below. It's as if a part of her very essence has been severed, leaving her dulled, dejected, distracted. And without the goddess of travel, luck, change, freedom taking her turn on the throne, so too did the lives below become stagnant and solitary. Communities closed off, towns and villages built up and hidden behind the security of their cold stone walls. And naturally, the stories began. Fables to warn children not to wander too far from home and never to stray from the path. For out here, in the unknown, as they say, here be monsters, not least of which the snarling black hound. But that was then, and this is now, where we find our sexy, sexy adventurers in the idyllic village of Pixies, talking almost face-to-face to the mysterious Rua. Arlington, it's your turn for the recap, and I am a mean DM, so despite you not being here for the last 2 sessions, take it away, my good friend.
It's completely subjective retelling. Also, I got to watch as a viewer, which is always interesting because you're not just waiting to speak like I do. Cool. So, previously, the crew killed Shadowhook, I believe. I don't think Shadowhook had a name. Found out that
Just
Hook is, in
also
fact, which one?
He was just also Huck.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Much darker. We also found out that Hook is Puka royalty. He is a prince that had lost his memories. Turns out the gyasa he'd put on himself, I believe.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, not great. And we discovered, or at least I hadn't realized until then, that the Fianna aren't in great standing with the Fae, because the Fianna are basically Scientologists, which is, don't trust them. The Fianna pushed the Fae out of our world and trapped them in the other world, and Rua is pissed about that. Rian used to be an intern on a pirate ship. And where are we? So it turns out that Hook, being both pretty much Fae and Fianna, is kind of a conflict of interest, so that should be interesting going forward. The horses are unionizing. We have to crush that rebellion before it can begin. Rian got a cloak of displacement. Iggy got a magical glass-like paintbrush with incredibly fine bristles that she keeps using as a makeup brush. Arlington got a gift. We'll find out what that is. Apparently, Arlington is smelly. He didn't realize this, so that's going to be something for him to work on. You guys got into some metaphors about race and gender towards the end as well. That was some heavy-hitting stuff.
No.
And Rua has finally arrived, sort of, in like a, shadowy, freaky, forestry fashion. And Iggy recognized her voice as the one that's been speaking to her from like shadows and puddles, I think, and just basically being a creepy, ominous voice talking to her. And then kind of most bafflingly at the end, she asked the party why they were helping her. And I don't think any of us really know. So let's find out now.
And we're in. Oh, so immersive. I'm
Immersive
gone
proper
from my home. Yeah, that was great. Not only did you recap the narrative and plot, but also our jokes. Let's do that one.
They were in capital letters. I had deleted a lot because I very much enjoyed the basic synopsis of how Rian was a pirate intern, and then basically Ash had to explain why Rua didn't like it. It's like, it's exactly your situation. Now do you understand? I guess now I understand.
I did, in the 2 weeks that passed, I messaged Gav because I was feeling a little bit sheepish afterwards. And I was like, did we razz your berries too much?
No such thing. No such thing as too much rousing.
You're pretty much, yeah, you're right there. Rua has sort of appeared, not in person, but sort of like a puppet theater in a tree. So you can see her face, you can see her general visage, and she is quite patiently and quite curiously looking at you all. Pretty much where we left off was, and if you wouldn't mind just filling me in and satisfying my curiosity, why have I been gifted with such mysterious benefactors?
I will. Which times were we helping you? What exactly are you talking about?
Oh, as I say, I know a little of your peregrinations. I believe it was you who completely and catastrophically brought about the ruin of the Galway Bay Shipping Company, which I must say, my hat, if I was wearing one, is off to you.
Yeah, no, that was us. That was, just a side job, really. We didn't like the look of them, and we took care of them. But that's our own personal thing.
Ah, and then explain to me how then you knew to reach me through the Pixie Village.
Huck is a pixie.
Just seemed like a good idea,
Huck is you can see the tree squinting to try and size up the relative size of Huck to a pixie. It's like,
I'm a
really big pixie.
I'm a big pixie.
He's a big deal.
You do look familiar. Have we met before? Huck, is it? Huck.
Yes, no, I think I said not a couple of minutes ago that I was, I'm Prince Huck, son of old, the Puka there, the king.
Ah.
Huck.
You're King Puck's son.
Huck. I'm only just coming to bear with that myself, actually. I had a bit of an old ramble out there, and I thought I'd put my mind on hold for a sec. So I might have met you, but I didn't ken at the moment. You caught me out of sorts.
And can I ask? I mean, not that I don't believe you, but
sounds like you don't believe me.
You look like a halfling.
Aye, and you look like a tree.
Well, touche.
You gotta get this woman a hat.
So, if I get this right, you haven't been meaning to help me, but you have just by sheer...
Oh, no, I didn't say we hadn't been meaning to help you. It was just that last thing, there was a personal nature involved there. We've heard tell you, and we were keen to meet you. So that's why we're here. And we've done some things in your favor. That's to be sure. I don't discredit that.
And we wouldn't be opposed to helping you again if we knew what it is you wanted.
I imagine what we could do if we were trying to help you a lot more than before.
That is very interesting. I've never... And what do you call yourselves? I guess a band of... are you vagabonds, renegades,
punks.
Troubadours?
Punks. We go by many names, kind of trialing them all out, not really set on one, yes.
Rian's just having a wee joke there. It's Huck's
they're pals now.
We were pals.
Because Huck discovered the importance of friendship.
Yes. Because I was always against friends before the transformation.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I gleaned from the stories, yes.
Yes. We're a group of...
Punks.
Punks, vagabonds, travelers, adventurers.
Legends.
Legends.
There have been statues made. I'll say no more.
There's a statue. Now that's something even I haven't managed to do. You must be very impressive adventurers if you have a statue.
Aye, well, you have a tree, and that's nature's statue.
She starts
I-
looking. Oh, I am a tree. I was wondering how I'd turn up. A tree. And you've never seen a tree both bellow and billow at the same time. She starts kind of chuckling to herself at this curiosity.
Tree person. Your voice sounds awfully familiar. You haven't, by any chance, and this is going to sound crazy, you weren't a puddle one time, were you? Because you sound so familiar to me.
Well, yes, Iggy. I've been kind of looking after you and watching over you for quite some time. I mean.
Okay, I thought that the puddle was haunted, and definitely didn't trust it. And now I don't know if I can trust you either.
Iggy,
Oh, you
you've
can
been talking
trust
to
me.
Puddle.
I tried very hard not to, Huck.
Oh, well, that's good then. I'm glad.
I was always taught, I suppose. Don't to speak to puddles you don't know. No, I suppose I should tell you guys. I have had, now and again, a voice has maybe asked me if I need their help and that they will do anything I need for them to help. But don't worry, I ignored it because it seemed not useful.
Well, that's very apt, I guess. A mother's love and a daughter just ignoring her mother. I mean, look at us. Tale as old as time, am I right?
Are we about to get some new fucking parentage up in here as well? I honestly, sorry, this isn't the Jerry Springer show, the fantasy Jerry Springer show. I can't handle this.
No, this is the Who Do You Think You Are? Do I know? Do I know that this is my mother, or do I recognize that?
I mean, I guess just make a straight intelligence check, or maybe a straight insight. Straight insight, yeah. Let's see if you can just in tune.
Oh my God, the paternity test is in. Is it your mother?
I got an 8.
That's a maternity test?
Damn it.
When there are 3, it's a bot.
Sorry, they never do it on Jerry Springer because, like, are you the mother? Like, there were witnesses. So whether you were
the mother being one of them.
Yeah.
So that was a straight 8?
Straight 8? Well, no, it was like a 4.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. You've never really known your mom, and your father hasn't really talked about who your mom is. So with 0 information, you now have some information.
Well, she's now kind of set it. Okay, yeah. Mother? No. I'm sorry. This is a hilarious little joke. Is this another fairy bit where are we all going to find out who our parents are? Is that what's happening? Okay. Do Arlington next.
I'm not there.
Who's
Okay.
Arlington?
Okay, I'm going mad.
When he comes.
God damn it.
Is Arlington your I guess you'd call him a Brogdenag friend?
Well, we wouldn't call him that. He might
No.
hit us.
I think that's their word.
Big hairy friend? Is that what that means?
Well, a
Smelling.
giant stature. Yeah.
We just so Arlington.
Yes, do you by any chance actually know where he is? It's of somewhat urgency. We're trying to find him.
I mean, I could find him for you, but you'd have to do something for me. I feel like we're
I thought you just
dancing
said you were
around
the mother.
Again?
bargain here.
Well, we've been doing things for you and you're abating our debt.
Yes, you've missed many birthdays, Mother. Maybe this could be a freebie.
It sounds a bit like she tried to visit you on your birthdays, but you ignored her.
We cut to young Iggy as a child just smashing puddles with her Wellington.
That's why children jump in puddles, yes, to crush their absent parents. You know? Yeah, what a cruel custody battle. You'll have custody, but only in puddle form. Yeah.
The tree friends and goes, well, Ted, did you not give them the gifts? I mean,
I did.
I have been trying to.
Were these gifts not from Ted?
They are, as a gesture from Rua.
Rua, you really need to sign the card. Otherwise, we'll just assume it's from the person who gives it to us.
We shot the messenger with appreciation.
Yeah.
And we've already given her all the appreciation now.
Yeah, there's no more to go around. I'm sorry.
It's not
abundant.
We had to pretend to be all excited again.
Oh, you don't have to appreciate her to have made a Fae deal. It's binding. It just is what it is.
What's that now?
Yeah. That wasn't clear.
I was pretty clear that I served Rua. I talk about that often.
Oh, but the word binding is so binding.
Ever since we got that statue, we've just kind of become so accustomed to people just giving us things, throwing things at us, So I just...
Do the three of you know anything about the Fae? I mean, Prince Hook, surely you know that a gift from our type is, seen as an exchange of favors.
But I didn't know it was... I didn't ken it was for you. And
you accepted it from a pixie.
And we had our own exchange of favors. She'd been briefly leading the crew for a while as well and showing us around. So,
So what favor did you give me exactly?
It sounds like Ted is too
an
off.
Adventure. You were very happy to be going on that adventure, as I recall. Plus,
I'm happy to help you. Yes, helping others makes me happy.
Although that's between me and Blueberry, I suppose. Me knighting Blueberry.
That was very kind, but yes.
Current tally is Blueberry owes you 1. You all owe Ted 2, and by an extension, me 1. But I owe you 1 for the catastrophic ruining of an entire organization. So currently, we're even. You owe 1 to Ted.
Okay. Ted, what would you?
I'll revise those afterwards, but sure, we'll go with it for the moment.
Oh, I gift my 1 to Rua.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
How did we end up with 2 to Ted?
Because I gave you gifts and I helped you on your adventure.
That makes sense.
Ted, I owe you 1 now, so thank you. Isn't really going to cut it. It was very impolite of me to even say the words. I'm sorry. Sorry for me saying that too. Oh boy. It's been a while since I've been around sort of our kind and the courts, so I'm a little bit out of practice.
Well, we can help you practice and therefore return the favor. Perfect.
I think I know how Blueberry can give his 1 back. Mm-hmm. He could go and because he can pop into that other dimension and maybe find Arlington, and then he doesn't owe anybody anything because he's done his 1 again.
That could be very helpful, actually. If he could find Arlington, whatever happened to him, who knows, and bring him back.
That sounds excellent. And that's such a good idea, Ted. Oh, I owe you 1. Oh, damn it. This is amazing.
I gifted to Rua.
Okay, guys, quick huddle, and I just go to Hook and Iggy. It's like I don't remember asking for any of these favors because we just give them 2 gold pieces and say here's a favor and we're paid off. The idea of a favor it also implies that you ask. I think you can't just give someone a favor without them explicitly saying that they need it, in which case it's a gift. This whole thing is confusing. Huck, can you shed any light on this whole Fae thing?
I didn't ken much because I'm coming back to the Fae thing, as you know, but yeah, favors, you don't want to be entering into favors or really a lot of discussions with the Fae because they usually use it to wrangle a favor one way or another. That's mostly what they do.
It would be useful to know, Huck.
Thank you.
Sort of got in this
I recall it's pretty common knowledge. Everyone in the Fianna always talks about it. And they're the only other people I've ever talked to.
Can we hear them?
At the same time, I was going to say at the same time, Rua calls over Ted and goes, I really don't think they understand. I mean, it's not like you have to ask for a favor. You just give 1 to someone and then they automatically owe you 1 back. That's common knowledge, right?
Sorry. This is some sort of mafia level stuff. Am I right? You've asked the Godfather
you
for something.
came to our village and asked for help.
That's true. And we also
That
could have
is
not taken the
true.
gifts, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I have been using this gift entirely since I got it. I definitely can't
Same.
return this now. It's
I
quite
thought you
covered in
liked
skin
the
flakes.
gifts. Do you not like them?
I love them.
We love all the gifts, and you did help us, and you could definitely be said to help me. But
Let's
it's
move this along. There's been a lot of
it's a
pettifogging about
computational way of dealing with favors between friends. Favors between friends is no thing, but a lady becoming a tree, coming up here telling us she's Rua and that we now owe her favors, even and that she gave us presents. It's cause for concern. You gotta check your facts.
Why would you be concerned to help Rua?
All sorts of people say
You
all
were
sorts
helping her before you even knew you were helping her. And then just a few minutes ago, you said, think how helpful it would be if we were helping you on purpose. And you were offering to help her. And now that we've said, that's great, because we were already expecting that, you're mad?
Yeah.
You're
no,
very
it's not.
confusing.
No, it's very different. It's very different, Ted, when we offer to help you compared to when we feel like we've got some sort of indentured servitude here. I mean, like it really.
Oh, you're not interns.
I
will never be an intern. Never again.
If we could use some of Blueberry's indentured servitude and just get him to go and fetch Arlington, though, that would be very helpful, wouldn't it?
let's not call,
Yeah, let's do that.
let's
Let's
think-
not call it that. Let's call it a
one way or
favor.
another. We're all friends here, right?
Pals, even.
Or pals, if you'd prefer.
Or chums.
Or mother and daughter.
I've been ignoring that because you've been ignoring that.
I'm
And
processing.
I found myself when I was being confronted with things, ignoring it tended to make the headaches go away for a while.
You all have a surprising lack of knowledge of your own histories.
Yeah.
In a way, that is our own history.
It's hard to tell what critiques are Ted and what critiques are Ash.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
I can tell you about all sorts of famous halflings. There's Euclid and, Aristotle.
There's Agro.
Personal.
It's
And
aggro.
Agro. It's his little brother.
1601 Larger. He was an odd one.
So, Arlington. I'm a little bit nervous sending Blueberry just off by themselves into anywhere. Do you have anything of his? I think we'll need something powerful. Maybe something of yours that might draw him here. We need something borrowed. There's a lot of, as I'm sure you might understand. Actually, as I say it, I doubt even my own words. Something as powerful as just bamfing someone into existence takes a lot of ingredients, materials.
As we understood it, it wasn't bamfing someone into existence. More or less, it was opening a door into another dimension and having a wee gander and seeing if you can find him. I'm sure he'll stick out.
When you say it like that, it's a lot less complicated, yes. Opening a door into another dimension and pulling him out. Yeah.
Go and having a look, having a wee wander and seeing if you can find him. But I mean, if you can do something more direct, then great.
I might be able to find him, but I do need something
Bringing him
from you to act as a sort of, well, I hesitate to use the word binding because it caused so much problems moments ago, but something to be an aspect of your wits, perhaps, or a few seconds of your time.
Sure, a few seconds of my time. I don't mind giving that up. I've already wasted countless hours.
Okay. A few seconds of this mustachioed man's time, and give me one moment. And the tree just sort of is a tree again. Rua is now no longer in your presence, although eternally in your presence, Ted, of course. And you see a sort of swirling of leaves around the base, as if there's a light breeze, and the leaves start to take the shape of a tall, muscular sort of man, and I say sort of man, a man, And you see this sort of shimmering outline of a very stoic, very chiseled looking, what you catch in a glimpse of a second of like a high elf, and then they sneeze like, and Arlington is just there, fully hairy. He kind of sneezes his hair and body and form into existence around you. Arlington, not to make it a trope of the show, you don't remember exactly where you've been or in this exact moment of time. Maybe you'll find out in 2 weeks to 4 weeks whenever we do that adventure. But for now, because we're dealing with the wibbly wobbly aspect of time in the real world, let's say that you have a loose sense of there was a lot of fighting, a lot of violence. It definitely didn't feel like a peaceful place. You can feel yourself sweating. There's some blood stains that seem to just prestidigitate themselves off you as you sneeze into existence. And you were there. And at that moment, a few seconds pass and the fire in front of you cracks and pops, and Rua sort of leans forward against the tree and goes, well, I guess that's that. Arlington, I have something for you. Would you like it?
I think as Arlington's standing there, he's chest out, still like not quite as svelte as the initial figure, but still sort of standing proud and firm. Kind of looks around at you each one by one with a grizzled gaze, and then vomits all over himself and drops down to one knee. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh.
That makes more sense.
Can we run over to him and give him? Can I a healing word or something? Try and.
Yeah. What's this? I'm staying the fuck away from that.
Am I injured or am I all right?
You're. Hold on. Let's do a quick. Let's roll some dice. Okay, there. Yeah. I said it. Yeah. On our game. Let's roll some dice.
Ooh,
you are down 14 hit points.
That's 14. Cool.
I can't remember if that's a lot or a few to a barbarian.
Well, has everyone leveled up in the last episode? Because I know we're leveled up.
Correct. We haven't done your hit points or any of those kind of things. And for the video game logic of this show, you're back on full health. Level up, party.
For the sake of fun flavor, I'd say I would have leveled up last episode. So I think it's fun for me to not be at full health here.
Well, we'll take you as leveled up in the experience you just had, of which the viewers and ourselves will get to discover in real time when we play it, sometime in the future. So let's do some hit dice. We got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Ted, you're more than welcome to level up if you wish. But should the party leave this pixie village pretty soon, by all means. Let's start with Rian. Roll some hit points. The party are now at level 7.
Boo, boo, boo. Maximum hit points. So that's
nice.
8 plus 1. So from 34, I go to 43.
Nice. Yeah. Ted, do you want to roll some hit dice? I don't know what the hit dice of a warlock is, but just in case anything happens, let's get in.
It's a D8.
I'll roll hit dice for Rua. She'll level up too. 1,000 hit points.
Oh, damn it!
I got 5.
5, nice. Moving around the circle, we have Huck Flynsire. What are you doing for Sorcerer? Are you taking another level in Sorcerer?
I certainly did. Is it a D6?
Yeah, D6 for you, I think.
I think it's a D6. I'm pretty sure it's a D6 for me. So 5. Not bad.
And then plus your con.
Yes. That'll be the other bit.
Ignatius O'Fla. Roll your hit dice.
I got an 8.
Nice.
Ooh.
Out of a D8, right? Bards with D8s?
A D8 plus 2. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And last but not least, our bugbear barbarian fighter friend. Are you taking a level in fighter or barbarian?
Taking yet another level in fighter, yes. So it's a D10 I roll, and which is a big die. And even then, with my Constitution modifier, I am gaining an extra 4 health because I rolled a 2. And I've just lost 14 health, so I'm significantly worse off than I was before.
Nice.
That's life.
That's how it goes.
And you did a kick in the teeth.
Actually, yeah, I'd say I probably got kicked in the teeth just before I bounced back, so that's probably fine.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So as Arlington steps up and grins his toothless grin, like a boy who's just come from the dentist, will pick up their dentist take all your teeth, right?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, it's a bad dentist.
Unless you have an apple on you. Or my bob of apples, which makes them run away.
Nice.
Yes, true. If we're done confabulating, let's get down to brass tacks.
Aye, well, we don't have any brass on us, so...
And I'm also against taxation as a general rule. Poor choice of words, I guess. I was really too caught up in saying confabulate, to be honest, to think about the next part of what I'm doing out of the tree mount. So, I think we're even.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Anything... And Arlington, I do have something for you for helping me with the whole, destroying an entire corporation thing.
No, that sounds good. Because you're still in debt to Arlington, and this will be washing you of the whole thing.
Like a pile of books all on top of each other. They are balanced.
Are you giving me books?
No. What are we? Ted, do you have the little box for?
I passed it off. They have it.
Oh yes, of course. Here you are. We didn't open it because it wouldn't open.
A noble reason.
I give it a sniff. Does it smell like just regular wood?
Oh, it's better than regular wood. It is cedar wood.
And I open it immediately. However,
it's
it
a
opens.
box of essential oils. No.
I get it. I smell.
And you see a thin golden ribbon laid out on a decorative pillow. The pillow is also made of wood, but it's finely crafted inside this box of wood. And it's just a gold ribbon. But you can see that there is some engraving on the ribbon itself. What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Goblin, Orc. That's it.
What was the second one there?
Goblin. My languages
Sweet.
are rarely... Mystical things are rarely carved in these languages.
It's in Goblin. You can read in Goblin, and whether you want to read them aloud or not is up to you, but you do read...
I'd say I read it out loud, but sort of slowly reading out the words.
You spell it out, and it says, I am your servant, Nying. Say the word and you shall be armed with my protection. And as you finish this incantation, the golden ribbon sort of comes to life and wraps itself around your dominant bicep as like an armed fork.
They're both. I don't have a favorite. It's all ambidextrous.
Choosing a favorite child.
It struggles. It floats in the air trying to figure out which one. It measures one. It goes to the other. And instead just decides to go across your chest.
Like a cool heart rate monitor. Nice. Or a Love Island microphone. All cool things.
I'd say that. Yeah, the right is the sword arm.
I think you'll know. You probably know straight away. You need to attune to it. But I'll let you know what it does right now because it's fun. And this again is another gift from Ted through Ash, who came up with this incredible homebrew item just for you.
Very exciting.
We've done a little bit of rejigging around just to make it hilarious. Why do
I feel like this is a trapped magical item? I'm cursed. I'm cursed.
You're bound forever to the will of Rua. It is called the Pixie Torque of Gobby Protects, and while equipped, this armband of living gold allows the user an ongoing reaction. So you've got an extra thing you can do with your reaction, but you can only use it once per day. So once per day, when a creature that you can see targets you with a spell or a magic item, or you're making a saving throw against magic, roll 1d6 and add the result to your AC or your saving throw, depending on what it is. you call forth a spiritual goblin who immediately dives in harm's way to protect you from this damage. And the result of your roll determines if this goblin was successful in protecting you from harm. So if you roll into your AC and it suddenly gets it above that AC, then this goblin appears and dives and takes the blow for you.
And you can use that for a friend or foe. So.
Oh, I can use it. I can make him dive in front of other people.
No. Meaning, if a friend attacks you with magic, you can protect yourself, not just enemies.
Fingers, but if one of your friends attacks you with magic,
I
hypothetically,
don't know what you're implying there.
I'd say as I realize what this means, basically, I'm gonna like try and subtly shift my gaze like side-eyed over to Hook, and then just kind of like look back down at the box and pretend to be like smelling it again. That is a very cool magical item.
I'm gonna wave at him and smile.
Quick
sheepishly.
Technical point: does it for saves? Does it stack with bardic inspiration or not?
Yes, it would. I mean, you're using up a resource, so
yeah, I'd imagine it does.
Very nice.
So it does. It can also be used once a day as a bonus action to remove any condition currently afflicting you, or it can heal you for 4d4 plus 4 HP. Using this expends one use of your daily rage and depletes the ongoing. So it's like once per day you can either use it to react or a bonus action to heal or remove afflictions. Once you do that, then a long rest. I guess we'll figure out in-game lore whether it's a new goblin every time. Or whether it's the same goblin being sort of subjected to.
I don't know which is worse.
Either way, that goblin's gonna need a name. So
There are spiritual goblins. So if it makes you feel any better, at least they're made of spirits.
His name is Thistle.
Thistle the goblin.
Thistle the goblin.
And he's
Thistle
also
the pixie gobby.
I was going to say, I wonder if they were going to be like goblins from my past that were my friends, but I much prefer being the same guy that keeps getting a really rough time.
Oh boy, here we go.
Not again, jeez. It's
I gotta go, sweetheart. I'll be late for dinner. I gotta go take another bullet.
Sounds like a good spin-off.
His friends keep trying to kill him.
Can I go over to Rua and talk to her and just when was the last time that the last I saw you must have been back in our home on Agla. When was the last time that you were there, and do you know what is happening there?
I'll answer it one at a time, I guess. The last time I was there, you were still quite young. I guess a few years after you were born, I had to, I left. Actually, interestingly enough, it's sort of because of you that I left. It doesn't sound bad. It wasn't your fault. It's just, how much did your father ever talk about me or at all? He wasn't meant to, so it's okay if he didn't.
Absolutely nothing. Hence why I'm quite confused right now.
And what do you know of me? Prince Huck, you did say that you've heard tale of me before. Do you know anything of
who I am? Right. What was your question?
No, she begins to shout over, kind of like.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it quietly. I just. But, yeah.
I thought you had sidled up while we were all looking at Arlington's present.
Somewhat, but I was talking normally, Yeah.
Okay. So what was your question?
What do you know of me?
Your powerful fae.
That's one way of putting it, yes.
And then other than that, you have your finger in a lot of pies, as it were. And I'm not calling you fat.
No.
Do you eat through your fingers? Is that what happens?
You said the pie, yes.
I've tried. But no, what I was saying was you seem to have your hand in a lot of things. We've heard your name all across the land, as it were.
I guess even though I try not to be, I can't help but being slightly famous. It's a curse. Can I trust you?
We know how to fix curses, actually. There's just, if you whisper into the tree there, Is it yourself? Actually, do you whisper into yourself?
It's her
Yes,
butthole.
you can
Whisper
trust
into
him,
your
by the way.
navel.
Asher,
Proper navel gazing. Yeah.
you know yourself. You'll whisper into yourself there, and we can solve the curse. It's no bother.
Figure of speech, my wee prince. I guess shorthand of it all. How much to tell you? I don't know. You say all the things you did to help me were by accident, and I'm unsure quite how much I can trust you all. Ted, I guess. Ted, do you think I can trust these adventurers, these punks?
I think that if they were to cross you, they would say it out loud before they did. So, they're pretty easily gaugeable. Because they talk a lot.
You're right, and I guess
fans of preamble.
I have been able to keep a little bit of an eye on you so far, Iggy. Just through general, you know.
You can trust me. I don't know if I have any family left there, so you can trust me, of course. If we're family.
Does your dad doesn't have a name yet, which is as good a time as any to give him one. I don't know if I have a couple of cans, but if you have something with you that you want to use.
I just have Arcadia. That's not a very good dad name, I don't think. He's got a good tongue.
What it's also what is the
Wicklow.
word for wolf? Wicklow.
Oh yeah.
Wicklow?
Got that too.
Should it be called Wicklow?
Your dad's called Wicklow. I'll give you a couple of options. You get to choose.
Wicklow.
Yeah. Now he can be called King Nelson, but he's not a king.
For a lowly farmhand.
Oh, his name is King Nelson.
He is a lowly. He can be called Hawks, which is a cool.
I like Hawks.
Yeah. And then what I've just cracked open is a Bacchus.
I like Bacchus.
I've moved on to Red Bull myself.
Oh.
Every third person in the show is called Red Bull. There's always someone trying to I have
Red Bull
Bran and
Bullywug. Oh, Bran and Skolin. They were actually two orcs that Iggy knows from her pre homebrew.
Now we know why she was so close to them.
I think Bacchus, that was cool.
Bacchus? Okay. Bacchus is your father's name.
But no,
I would follow Bacchus O'Fly into battle.
Yeah, Bacchus O'Fly.
Well, he didn't go into battle much, to be fair.
But no, he is absolutely alive when I last left. But that was the reason I left, was to protect him. And there's currently, the whole situation with the demon that's murdering everyone. So I'm just assuming that maybe he's not there. So what I'm saying is, you have my trust if we're a family.
And if you have Iggy's trust, then you have our trust too.
I mean, we do, I guess, have all the time in the world, but I'll make it short just for. I don't want to talk too much. I prefer to listen. If you know of what the Hibernians call the Fey invasion and the war between Hibernians and the Fey, if you know of that, and the Feyvasion.
That's
Invasion?
Invasion.
Much better. much better. If you know of the invasion, and how we were sort of banished to the other world, well, I'm afraid one of my less charming traits is I can be quite stubborn. And I didn't really want to accept this new fate in the Feywild. So myself and a few of the other Arch-Fey had a disagreement. I thought we should try reclaim the world as if it is our own, because it is. And, push came to shove, and I was banished to Hibernia. So I can no longer return to any home, really. And I don't know if you know much about when the realms were split apart, but the sort of goodness, the colour in the world was also stripped away. It was as if both sides ended up with the worst parts of each other. And if you can imagine Hibernia with all the colour and magic of the Feywild, that's what the world used to be. This wonderful, curious, magical place. A little dangerous at times, but where isn't? And so I was hunted by the Fianna, on one side, and actually, how have you all survived the Black Hound?
Oh, him. Well, I mean, being a part of the Fianna, we have these sigils.
Someone came and helped us, like a floaty man. Have you met him?
sorted
He's
out-
kind of like you.
Sorted out these sigils, and everyone was grand.
At
Yeah.
that moment in time, you hear a growling from behind Rua, and stay cool. Well, you should know that I've managed to capture it. But for the protection of people, of course, just to keep everyone safe. You can't have something like that just roaming the wilderness. And over
You
time,
decided to capture it now.
yes.
You were fine with it roaming the wilderness before.
Well, it wasn't affecting me before.
Okay.
And you know how hard it is to capture something that can literally transport itself across all of the world and splinter itself into multiple forms at once. There's no
it's a
one
feat.
Black Hound.
It's a feat. I'm impressed. I was just, I got my answer.
Are you
Just to
disappointed?
clarify, so I'm completely on the same page as everyone. You took a creature that is the night itself, a nightmare known the world over that can consume anyone in its path, and made it your pet.
Well, I wouldn't call it a pet, but
It
I guess
shut up when you told it to.
No, it stayed put when I told it to.
It's an intern.
You told it to stay. I'm not sure if you're familiar with dogs.
We
It's
must
an
free the
intern.
dog.
Look, I just want to know how much I need to be afraid of you, because I don't
Oh,
really.
quite a lot.
You should be quite afraid. Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for being
But
so
only-
transparent. Normally, people are quite mysterious with it, but it's good to know that you could kill me quite easily.
But only if you're on her bad side. There's no need to fear Rua when you serve Rua, and you are all bound to her. So
That
we are
sounds
all
like
friends.
dictatorship, my small friend.
Are we bound? Are we not square?
Well, I mean, you could be bound if you wish. It would keep
I-
you safe.
We'll leave
I
the bound.
don't
We'll
wish.
leave the bound for another time.
I have a follow-up question. Are we free to go?
Or sure, of course, provided you haven't eaten any food or drink from the pixies.
Oh, about that.
Oh, the tequila.
Oh, it was a lot more than the tequila.
Wait, do we have a whole feast?
Yeah.
They have eaten
all
quite
day.
a lot.
Evergreen, did you not warn them about taking food? And Evergreen is nowhere to be seen, sheepishly hiding behind a sheep. Well, of course, I can help.
Giggling
you with
at his
that,
prank and also at the humor of being sheepish around a sheep.
I knew I'd keep you around for something. This gag never gets old, and I'm cheapish quite often. Well, of course, I can help you with that, but it would put you in my debt.
I will. What's wrong with the food other than stick it around a bit?
Can we wash the dishes or do something? Like, I do not want to be in debt.
Arlington
sounds
didn't
awful.
eat anything.
Oh, well, yeah,
So
Arlington, you
he
are
can
free to
go.
go.
His horse, however, did.
But you would.
Did you wash my horse?
Yes.
What? That was what makes him go fast.
All the extra little wings on the flies. Yeah.
Yeah, they make him exact. See, she gets it. Okay, look, I'm not in your debt, but I'm gonna stick around if that's all right, because I can't. These idiots can't be trusted with it. Look what happened. I was gone for how long was I gone?
I would caution against the expression "if that's all right."
Is that are those?
As a throwaway expression, I think they might take that as them giving you a favor to allow you to stay.
I do have to give you permission.
I'm getting a
Now
small
you're
headache.
kidding.
Okay,
Yes.
now Huck is. No, this is very useful, Huck. Thank you.
I'm starting to get angry. I don't like. I'm gonna drop to one knee and start massaging my temples. I don't like this.
But you were telling me
I
about
fly
how this
over and I
happened?
start massaging Arlington's forehead as well.
That could be a favor, Arlington. Arlington, get that pixie away.
Like swat her away. I don't need any favors. But that was actually extremely soothing. We'll remember that.
I thought we were friends, Arlington.
Sounds like people here only making deals, not friends.
That's what we've been trying to battle with, but we're all friends. Everyone's friends.
We're all
Definitely,
friends.
Definitely with Ted.
All friends.
And Rua, sorry.
It's not sneaky. You came to the village and asked for a favor, and we helped you. You accepted gifts, physical gifts, and you ate food and drink. This is not sneaky. This is just, I mean...
None of that was sneaky. And you didn't take up the if that's all right thing. I was just, cautioning Arlington as to the potential rules that I have now remembered from my early classes as a small boy. Small puka.
I have recently had an
father have
awakening
to
of sorts,
teach you how
and
to
now
be
know
you?
basic manners.
Yeah. It's an etiquette lesson.
I sneak up behind Arlington and put my hand on him and prestidigitate him again and fill him with his fur with flowers. And then back up. It's not a favor. It helps everybody.
That's a good look.
How do I smell? I've been gone for a couple of days.
With your nose.
With your nose, yeah.
I hate that I liked that.
Now you smell like lilacs and the summer breeze.
Someone's cracking something. What are you cracking? And what is it?
It's a Tull City Session IPA. This is going to be in reverse, but yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
Tull.
I'm just taking a stab at it too.
Yeah. A Danish brewery. They're amazing. Everything they do is wonderful.
Yeah, they're
Cool.
Beers and pastries. What can't they do? Rua kind of goes, well, if you wouldn't mind, I'll just finish my little tale. I said it was going to be short, and even then, I just lost you at some point.
Please go on. Please go on.
Yes, please. Sorry, don't be distracted by us. We will allow you to finish your story. You're in our debt.
That is all right.
Rian, roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I think I'm good at that, am I? No,
Wow.
not that good. Although it's a 20, not a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Still though.
And you are allowed to leave the food and drink curse lifted, debt repaid.
Anyway, continue.
Well, I guess I'd sort of, I guess how I met your father is how I should start. We were all living in an apartment in New York. Me and my best friend.
I thought we were going to get past that guy. But
Yeah.
Nope. It's low hanging fruit, and she's a tree. I'd sort of settled into this droll existence, and I met a very boisterous Bacchus. I guess you could say I was quite smitten. And, well, the thing is, an archfey and a human, not exactly looked upon fondly by the Fianna or by any Hibernian, so we sort of kept our little tryst a secret. And we had you, and like I was saying, it was sort of because of you, Iggy, that we're exactly where we are today. Your father one day caught you playing with the animals in the barn, and he said to you, having told you before not to do so, he ground you from playing with the animals in the barn. And rather to my delight, later that evening, when we started we heard herds in your bedroom, and we opened the door, and there you were with all the animals in your room, and so he kind of rather wryly quipped while I was banished from playing with the animals in the barn, and that made me think, I'm banished from ever returning to my homeland, but there's nothing to say that I can't bring the other world to me. And as you might imagine, it takes quite a lot to summon an entire plane of existence on top of one another. So, well, do you like what I've done so far? 3 days of perpetual evening. Here's hoping it sticks. Next step, summon the entire thing.
And so you just left
I'm
forever.
happy on my way.
Okay. I didn't actually remember that. I thought that was a dream. when I was with all those piglets in the wardrobe. I thought that was just a dream that I had, but that makes a lot more sense now that you say that.
And so I left. I hope you don't mind. You didn't need a mother growing up, did you?
Well, especially a powerful one might have been nice with the death adjacent. That would have been pretty nice.
Death adjacent.
Death.
Are you saying death?
Death.
BT?
TH?
H.
Ah, death.
You really do like deaths, don't you?
Now that you mention it, anything I can do for you?
No, but do you know what's happening in the town now? It happened when I was young. Was that anything to do with you leaving?
I'm a little busy summoning an entire plane of existence on top of this one. I'm sorry if I haven't really checked in on a backwater farming town.
Surely you like the hound there. Wouldn't you like to destroy, maybe find a demon? Oh, you could get the demon in your dead demon.
Demon in your town?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, in the cliffs, in those the Widow's Ravine. Lovely name that it has.
I mean, if you're bringing realities on top of each other, that might also bring a demon here. Should probably deal with that first.
It wasn't called the Widow's Ravine when I left. It was called the Ravine.
Funny
so what's happening with this?
Yes. Oh, it's just summoning people so that they walk off the cliffs by their own volition.
That is dark. That is very wow.
Very dark. And I was able to stop it briefly with all that art that my father filled my happy childhood with, arts and crafts, etc. But the demon came to me in a dream and told me I had to leave, or more people would die. So I'm kind of looking for help, and it feels like you could be quite helpful here. And I think maybe if you caused it, it wouldn't be a trade, or it would be a fair trade.
Question. Why did you believe the demon when he told you that?
Oh, because I didn't believe it, and he killed my stepmother the next night. So I'm
good.
maybe
I can't
maybe
believe
it's
Black has found another wife. Super, right? Am I right?
Well, she was there for many years of the arts and crafts, but I can't say for certain that it was that demon, but it's not a risk that I could take, so I had to leave.
Huh. So what you're saying is I help you with the demon problem, and you help me with the landing an entire plane of existence on top of this one problem?
How about the reconciling with your daughter problem?
Ooh.
Make a persuasion check.
Ben, can you make a quick burn check as well?
Yeah, the tree is on fire.
Oh.
This tree burns up, shrivels, and a new one grows in its place. Tosses back her tree-like hair and goes, "What on earth happened?"
I just got a 26.
What the?
That's persuasive.
There's a lot of built-up anguish here. It's just
This is
all
the
kind of
angriest thing he's
bubbling
ever
up.
been.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Rule, but I'm convinced. I am on board.
I mean, I don't come to you and tell you how to be a daughter. I don't think you should come to me and tell me how to be a mother.
That's not how it works, Rua. That is not how it works.
And she would have wanted you
Yes.
when she was young to come and tell her how to be a daughter.
Yes, I think you're describing good.
You've really
you're describing
isolated the
parenting.
problem there. Yes.
Okay. I think I could help you. You'll have to leave it with me. But you know those awesome, terrible powers I keep offering you? That's a start.
Okay.
They might have helped you in the beginning, before you left the town and came here to.
But
I mean,
well, maybe that was the demon. I want to know what to believe. So now, honestly, now that it's confirmed that it's you, that will really help my trust with Puddles.
Okay. Yeah. Consider it a deal. You never bring up my negligence ever again.
To be fair, Rua, it sounds like you did go to her. She just ignored you.
This is why you always have a pixie lawyer.
Fucking worm tongue over here.
And
Not
that was cute.
As I recall, she didn't declare that
She
was
never
helping.
declared, and so I was trying to fend for myself in this world in which I have been left alone, and to try to just not trust strangers, of which my mother is one. So
She tried not to be though.
But again, starting with
anyway,
I am your mother would have been
Yeah.
like a good. Yeah.
You were in the middle of a trade you were describing there. Let me go back to the trade.
I help you with the demon problem, and perhaps giving you like a demon slaying weapon.
Excellent. Something to bind it, or yes.
I have a question about these terrible powers we sort of glossed over.
Take the powers. Take the powers.
If we could get some more details on those, I would be interested in learning more about them.
That's smart. You've caught Iggy freezing as she's already reaching for a power that hasn't been offered. And I pause and go, yes,
The paintbrush lying forgotten on the ground.
Ted is cheering in the background like a game show audience. Take the power!
I'm so sweet.
Yes, I can help you with the demon problem. I'll tell you what. I help you with the demon. You leave me to the whole existence thing, and fair trade.
To the other guys, is that seems fair? I mean, right? What do you think?
What was the part that you wrote? What's the existence thing? Just clarification.
Well, I'll be summoning the entire other world on top of this one.
Oh, yeah, I know that's your plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be helping you with that.
Would I be helping, or would that just be continuing on? I think.
Well, you wouldn't be hindering.
That's fair.
Could we could sidebar real quick?
Sidebar.
Yeah, we'll get back to you in a short.
Rilla, I told you they talk a lot.
It's a very simple deal. Do nothing, and I do everything.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm actually in a bind here.
It sounds like my mother is kind of an insane, like megalomaniac, and I think she's probably going to destroy the world or fail to destroy the world of her own accord. But
that's what you got from that? Wow! Oh, it's just amazing how like you can hear the same thing. I thought she sounded cool, to be honest. Your mom, though, like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's just my opinion.
okay.
I ain't been here for a spell, but I'm not sure who was the liaising with this creature up until now. But whoever it was, when a mysterious, all-powerful god of nature asks you if you've been intelligently helping them in order for a favor, you say yes.
I
feel like we could have had the upper hand in this.
We did. We've ended up with a slight upper hand. It's you missed a lot of back and forth.
Okay.
You've done quite well.
Roll a deception.
Is that a crown?
Okay.
Roll what?
Deception.
Okay, I will.
Wait, is he wearing a crown? Is everyone else is seeing this?
You were there. They were all calling me royalty. Oh yeah, I'm royalty. I'm a puka. I've got these ears, floppy rabbit ears. Now.
Wait, does he actually have rabbit ears? I missed that.
I've just done it.
Okay. Okay.
What was I doing? Deception. Now, I have likely not deceived you. Is by.
That's how we resolve that issue.
Does a 13 deceive you? The lucky number.
13? I don't think your passive insight is higher than that, is it? What's your insight, Arlington?
My insight is 0, so passive would be 11. Yeah.
Here's a question: is deception on purpose? Because I don't think I'm deceiving him.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, sure. Look, I'll let you players take it as you.
I mean, I think Arlington is very much taking what everyone has said as gospel so far. He's very much brain muddled, so I don't think he's going to be discerning that people are lying to him.
Aye, so we did a good job. But That's the end result, and now we have to decide if binding ourselves to having nothing to do with Rua's plan is a good idea. Also, if terrible powers can ever be a good thing, I don't know. It's a word thing. I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to...
don't know. If you think they're good, you're not going to call them terrible.
She called them terrible.
In the library, they did kind of say that the only way that demons are so rarely defeated, it's something from the old age of the gods. This seems the only possible way that I can help. I don't know if I can say no to this.
I got
It's your call. I know what dealing with family is like in the past couple of days, and this is all up to you. You're our friend. I'll certainly follow.
I mean, we'll do what you think is best, but I just want to make sure we all know what we're getting into, because if the deal here is assist her with pulling two planes on top of each other or not, the knot is going to have to be opposing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, like, at the end of the day, it is your call. Like, it's your family. But I think she seems cool.
Yeah,
I think she's like...
I didn't think...
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I
pants
could be
ringing.
misreading this. But, like, seems cool.
Do you think they know that we can hear them?
I was so wondering that themselves.
Do you guys not respect a sidebar? I mean, what?
With an all-powerful being, should we have maybe taken another few steps away? I wonder.
My whole body was reconstituted. I'm having a hard time lowering my voice.
There is this one branch of the tree with a little leaf that's right beside my... It's almost like a little microphone, actually, now that I see it. It'd be great if I was dancing.
I should clarify, this deal would be just with you, Iggy.
I was just about to ask that. That's good. Okay. So it's entirely up to you then, Iggy. We'll stay out of it.
So in a world where...
Will you take the only powers that will stop the demon from destroying your village and in return do nothing? Or will you not take them?
Question. Have we established they're the only powers that will help her beat the demon?
That's what she said.
In the library, they basically said...
Are you asking me?
It nearly can't be done. But so I don't know.
Well, I think most of I haven't read many books or anything like that, but I would have thought pulling two planes on top of each other can't be done, but apparently it can.
So agreeing to stay out of the way of a foolish endeavor isn't really a hard deal, is it?
I have no doubt that this lady can do it.
Oh, before we make a decision, two questions, Rua. Can you lie?
Yeah,
she's trying to find out a way to... She can't answer.
Why would she?
Why would I lie? Great
I feel like if she would lie, she would say something like...
Guys.
I feel like if she could lie, or if she would lie, then she would have said something like, "Oh, Iggy, I missed you terribly," instead of saying, "Why would I go to your backwater town?"
Say that again. What she said? Just
Iggy,
writing that down.
You're amazing.
My second question, now that we've established that you definitely can lie or obfuscate, which is just a fancy way of lying.
I can lie.
Okay.
You said it, but with that tone, and you raised your eyebrow in a weird way.
My second question. Pulling one plane on top of the other, merging the planes. How many people...
We prefer to refer to it as returning things to as they were.
Mm-hmm.
Returning things to as they were. How many people will be hurt in doing so?
Emotionally?
Physically. Although emotionally does count.
Let's not discount the emotions, because they are important, as we all know. We've recently learned that.
I'm going to be honest. I've never asked myself that question. Although, now that I'm considering it, I guess if it wasn't perfectly laid out, a tree could burst into existence and skewer some poor fellow like some sort of flesh kebab.
That's grotesque. That is truly grotesque.
How likely is it to be like perfectly laid out?
Well, I've been doing a lot of work on that. Like, I've been literally mapping the entire. Are you guys
She's
saying
she's
it?
doing her
Like,
homework.
You feel good about that?
I have one question just to follow on then from the amount of work you're doing on this. Are you doing this just so you can go home?
No, I'm doing it so home can come to me.
Okay, well, potato. Okay, are you doing this to get home? Or are you doing it for some other larger purpose?
I get the feeling you guys don't remember or know how incredible this world was. Like, it was beautiful. Not this gray, muggy, horrible bogland that it is today.
Right, but you're in the... I don't think that's your motive. I think that's an excuse. Your Majesty.
I don't think she's. I don't know that she's royalty.
I'm just trying to show respect. I spoke back and then realized that she is an extremely powerful god.
Huck is taking that very personally now.
You may refer to her as Lady Rua.
Lady Rua, I have anger issues. I'm working on them.
There is a small, I must admit, there's a small part of me that just wants to see the look on those other Archface faces when I actually do it.
See, that's the kind of shit I was thinking was going on here, I'll be honest with you.
I mean, it's quite, no one has ever done this. Like, they're going to talk about me forever.
Yeah, but I've never...
I might be the most famous person.
But how long will forever be immediately after you do it? Will it be the end of time, as it were?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, it's just 2 of the planes. There's so many other planes.
Yeah, but each one is an entire plane of existence with life on it.
But they were together before.
Yeah, we can have them together.
But things have changed since then.
Yeah,
As
they've
in,
gotten worse.
Minorly, like a couple of buildings here and there.
Let's go with your tree kebab visual. Surely that goes both ways. That's surely gonna skewer some people in the other world.
Not depending on where you're standing at the time.
So it seems to me like, if I have this correct, you don't intend for anything to go wrong, but there is the potential for gross negligence.
I'd call it beautiful negligence, but yes.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
the
I
sort of
suppose you just
beautiful
changed the
negligence
adjective
that created
there.
Iggy. Oh, I was
I
saying
mean-
like this sort of beautiful negligence that created Iggy.
You got a real
What is
way of
life?
spinning things, Ted.
I don't know.
Dad definitely did mention negligence. Yeah.
Was it negligence, or was it a negligee? Is that what?
Okay, I got it. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not normally much of a thinker or a strategizer, but you said you've been mapping out how this is going to work, where everything is, how each rock's going to move to a different plane of existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put the work in. Can you tell us where there would be safe zones where we could, move people to, evacuate sort of area, big open field where we're like, okay, this is going to happen in a couple hours. Stay here so y'all don't get kebabbed.
That's fair. We could help the transition.
I don't think we could. We're going to have to work on our end on how we get in contact with an entire plane of existence, but we'll cross that bridge,
Like a field? Would a field
like
work?
a field or something like, or even if
The roads that they're building, it could say we map those out there. Then we have those, and then people can go out and stand in those exact areas. Maybe.
See, yes. The problem is, well, 2 problems. 3 problems. First problem, I'm getting kind of bored of this conversation, so I'm probably going to leave any moment now. There's like a lot. They talk so much. I'll talk.
But
no
I
action.
told you they're easy to trust because everything's out loud.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
a yes or no for this one would be all I need. Really, I don't need a super.
I think it's a good idea, Roa.
I would like to say yes, but I can't promise you that because, and here's the rub, I literally haven't seen the other world in 2,000 years, so I don't know what's on that side. If everything is exactly where I left it, we should be okay.
Some people have done some cleaning, and they've cleaned things to places where they haven't told you, you know?
But Huck can go to that world and map it.
You're gonna map an entire world. How long do we have?
Well, I'm doing this in about a month.
Okay.
Ooh, a month. Okay.
I don't think we can map an entire plane of existence.
No, you take a map that's already made and just double check it.
It's an entire plane of existence.
Well, you're not going to be able to do it with that attitude, Arlington.
I got a magic axe that tells you what things are and how big, far away they are. That's my only advantage.
You do have a landscape axe.
Oh,
The
that's
mapping, that would probably help mapping.
I mean, it's real good for telling me how high the mountain we're on is, but it's not so good for saying where everything is. Well, I guess.
Would one of Iggy's terrible powers help with mapping?
Oh.
Depends what.
We did meet those men on the way here, those literal sky tigers. Maybe some combination of terrible powers and sky tigers. You know how they used to really drone on, and they could use some of those skills to.
I'm gonna put it out there that we shouldn't approach the sky tigers to help us, because we'd have to explain what we were doing.
I can give you some pixie dust.
I'm getting the two sides of my head of, you know, the Fae me and the old halfling me are telling me that the Fianna might not be best pleased by this plan, so we might not want to count on the Sky Tigers.
Sure.
Guys, could we sidebar just one last time? I mean, I'm like out of the way.
I'll tell you what. You have a month. No deal, Iggy?
Deal.
So you're going to stay out of my way?
Well, the deal was, you continue doing what you're doing, and but I will have the powers to stop the demon.
And you don't hinder me in any shape or form.
What happens if she does?
The rule was that we let you continue as you are.
Not we, you.
I let you continue as is.
Good point, Huck.
I put my hand on Iggy's shoulder. What control will you gain over Ignatius if she takes your bargain?
Again, I don't have to answer your questions. I'm just being polite.
I never said you had to, but I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't think I'll answer. The more I talk, the more I think you guys just aren't a problem that I'm going to have. It's just really obvious to me now that you cannot stop me in any shape or form. I think I'll continue as I'm going on. I'll tell you what, don't be in the way when it happens. Deal? Deal. Ted, if you don't mind, could we have a sidebar? They seem fun.
Yes!
And a little
the important thing about sidebars is to stay as loud as possible, though.
A little pixie-sized door opens in the tree for Ted.
It's been really great helping you guys. I'm sorry you don't think you're friends with me anymore.
We're definitely friends with you.
Yeah.
Ted, we are
Thank you so
friends.
much. Thank you so much for this gift.
Yeah, there's nothing between you and us that's a problem.
I hope when the colliding of worlds happens that we can look on it as a positive and use it as kind of a relationship builder. Ted, I think you're great.
You're weird, but the smell of lilacs is growing on me in an extremely literal sense.
Yeah.
Can I wave the brush that I have? I'm just like drawing a little heart, like as if going like that, and I don't know what might happen if I do. Maybe the little hearts could fly out.
For anyone watching in portrait mode, heart emojis just float up their screen.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck discovering who you all are with your weird pasts. Bye.
You see Ted the pixie fly into this tree, and the little door closes, and on that closing of the door, you see Rua's shape and visage just sort of disappear, and that is where we will take our halftime break for today's episode. A lot of exposition, a lot of sidebarring.
That was all action. Yeah.
They don't always coincide with the same thing as well.
Yeah. This episode is going to be the litigious episode.
a lot of every time you turn right and you never go left where I tell you to go, a lot of what the left's been happening. So, I roll dice in the background. Iggy, before we go for the break, because it's only a verbal contract, was that a deal or no deal? It's up to you.
Yeah.
You can
I tell you what my interpretation of the deal was? Which was, it was when I tried to make her feel, but I wanted her help for this thing that she caused, and I wanted to make her feel bad, and I thought it was successful, and then she said, "Okay, I'll let you have that," and then, and that's it. Like, but that's it being, and then she was like, "And I'm just going to continue what I'm doing." That was my interpretation.
I like your interpretation because it's very Faye-like to go, well, the way I understood it, and understanding your side of the contract to be for not being there my entire life, you will help me with this demon thing.
Yeah.
Rua's interpretation is that you will not hinder her in any shape or form with the whole playing thing. We will find out at some point, I'm sure, whose interpretation is the correct.
I wasn't sure what I was persuading her.
As
What I
both
successfully
players
persuaded
and
her
audience,
of.
we don't know. That's what making deals with Faye is sometimes like. As I read in a book of Irish folklore recently, you can make a deal with a fairy that says, "Do not cause me any harm," and they will interpret it to mean like, emotional harm. They won't insult you, but they'll like pinprick you because fairies are dicks in the real world. So that's what we're taking.
You shouldn't say that out loud. They might hear
Oh,
you.
I know. Yeah, every time you say that, 3 fairies are born and curse you for 20 minutes. But hopefully, my homage to them through this show will appease them. We will come back in about 15 minutes. Ash, you are more than welcome to stick around as an audience member / like the peanut gallery. You're welcome to stand there and Warlord to whatever happens next. But equally, if you want to kind of say goodbyes to the viewers and to us, then we'll just change our overlay in the break and figure something out.
Goodbye, viewers.
It's been such a pleasure playing with you. It's been so much fun. I'm very sad. But yes, plug.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at moonclad_Ash. You can find me on Instagram at astronaut44. This weekend, I think, is the San Diego Comic-Con at home, and I'll be on one of those panels about streaming. There's also, as ever, I always plug in Demian's Gate, which is from long ago, like a month ago, but like it's still really good. D&D in a Castle is an awesome event. We're opening our March registration next Wednesday, which is exciting. Come into a castle in England and play D&D in 2021 when the world is safe again. And Hunters Entertainment is doing a whole thing during the Gen Con at home on August 1st. I'll be running a game, Altered Carbon, at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Wait, there's
as much as we can, we will put that all in the description.
What? There's an RPG of Altered Carbon that was released by Hunters.
That's very cool.
Yeah, they do fun games. And I get to run it. And I've got to go learn it right now.
As much as we can, we'll put all those details in the description below, so you can just click, follow. Go on a big follow binge. You have time because there's a break, so go do that, and we'll be back in roughly 15 minutes after we do our human-y things.
I thought that you have time was because of lockdown.
Yeah.
You have to. Welcome back to Homebrew Wonderbar. It's part 2. Thanks, Rascals, for a delightfully named beer. And also maybe something in part 2. Maybe something. They're going to be on a lot. Wonderbar is a classic go-to if you're in Ireland. So we will have a Wonderbar on, if not already have it on before. It's the classic part 2. We're all a little bit drunker because of the percentages.
Oh, actually, yeah, Gav, how was the 7%er?
Yeah.
I walked into the... it was a 9.2, I think. It was something big. And I walked into the living room and Joyce, my girlfriend, just goes, Gav, you're drunk. And I was like, wait a minute. Yes, I am.
Immediately.
Yeah.
If you're drinking along, I hope you're equally in libations. Is that how that phrase goes? Now that Rua's gone, I don't have to use fancy words that I've stolen from the lovely dictionary I own. Like pettifogging, which is a great little word.
What does it mean?
Part 2, we're going to dive... Pardon?
What does pettifogging mean?
It means like concentrating. Part 1 of this show was pettifogging. It's undue emphasis on petty details.
Ah, very good.
That's extremely
Oh,
short.
I know it well.
It's what we do here on Homebrew Quest.
Yeah.
Modus
But
operandi.
not with rules or numbers. Just
Not in the classic nerdy sense.
Just
Yeah,
indecision.
indecision. Yeah.
Hopefully you've done what we asked you to do before the break, which is follow Ash and all those things. And if you're watching this sometime in the future, all the events that Ash mentioned might be up on the internet as VODs. Go check them out. Skip part 2. There'll be a recap next episode. You can go check it out now. I don't give a shit. No, stick around. It's going to be fun. Let's dive right into it. We're a little bit behind. So, Rua, as the tree puppeteer, has disappeared. Ted has flown into the tree itself. The rest of the pixies are a little bit nonchalant about it. Probably happens a lot. You can imagine a warlock and their patron often have sidebars. And you're sort of left to your own devices. It is perpetually evening time, as you've come to discover. Who knows when time will change again, but Rua's plan is somewhat in action, and it seems like time is not moving forward in the traditional sense. And you have that lovely, warm, purple crimson glow in the night sky. The fire in front of you is crackling and popping. You haven't necessarily rested, I don't think, since coming back. But at the same time, for the purpose of plot and moving the action forward, we can say that you've all benefited from a long rest. To that conversation, what a long rest. So just because we're homebrewing, that's the way we want to do it. Consider yourselves rested. Who knows how long you stood in this fireplace? It's one of those classic fables where you kind of pull your eyes from the fire and it's like, oh, time has passed. Wow. Who knows? So imagine it like one of those stories. Your horses are ready. You are free to leave. Part of the negotiation between Rian and Rua was that Rua was in your favor and had to give that little trinket up to you willy-nilly. Unsure of where the deal lies with Iggy and Rua, but it is there. Arlington, what you do notice as you sort of get your groundings and you realize you're back at this tree, and Huck, yes, does have part of the transformation is that Huck now has hair-like ears on top of his head. Let's make sure that there's some sort of aesthetic difference.
I have a very important question. Does he just have rabbit ears? Does he still have ears on the side of his head, or have they been replaced?
Great question.
Does he just have blank here, or does he have 4 ears now?
Keelan, do you want to... I'll let you decide.
Rather than the top of my head, my ears extend upwards into rabbit-like ears from the regular place.
Very good.
So anthropomorphic furry style rather than Bugs Bunny style. Okay.
Yeah. Although
we're going for a new market.
We're going Bugs Bunny as much as possible.
Yeah.
The next time I can close the door when someone's chasing me, and then just when they open the door, scream "You beast" and slap them.
Yeah. Got it.
I will. That's my plan.
Cool.
Evergreen comes up to you and goes, well, I don't know how that ends our friendship, but you said lovely kind words to Ted, and I feel like we are bestest friends now. Am
Who's this guy?
I kind of give a few hearts.
Yeah.
I guess,
yeah. Couldn't leave this place without saying goodbye to good old Evergreen. Yeah. Oh.
I'm serious. Who is this guy? I have no idea who this man is. Are you Hook's dad? Is that who you are?
No.
A hilarious shape.
No, you know Evergreen. Sure, you met him before you What happened to you? But you know what? We'll get into it a bit later, I suppose. Yeah, he's not my dad. Don't worry about that. We haven't met my dad, although the others seem to have seen him in my dream memories. You know, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm
we need
kind
to
of
catch up here.
This is raising more questions than answering them.
Aye.
But the main question now, I suppose, other than how will we go on without Evergreen? Evergreen, you have been so important to me. You have taught me so much. Goodbye, my friend.
Like
I
what?
will remember you.
What have I taught you?
Oh, just like
Top 3.
Very
demanding.
Like the importance of
learning a lesson.
Of learning lessons, of accepting knowledge, and of
goodbyes
and meeting new people, but especially goodbyes.
That's 4.
That's 4 things you've taught me. I could go on, but I won't.
Little tear out of his eyes.
And that it's okay to cry. 5.
Can we give you anything to help you with your adventures? Where to next for Ted's crew? Hook's pals? New name, perhaps?
Rian's Renegades? Let it sit with you. Let it sit with you.
Are we maybe supposed to not take things from the fairies? Is that what I gathered? Because I really love taking things from people when they give them to me like gifts. But we're no on that, right?
No. There's nothing we need from you. We don't want you to give us anything. If it would make you feel better to give us something, I suppose we could accept that.
As a favor from us.
As a favor from us to you.
And a bunch of fairies just stop kind of like tying a watch to your wrist. you buy it, right?
It's like pickpocketing like that. Slide stuff into your pocket.
They're selling tat.
10 gold for
the throw up some multicolored spindles in the air and you realize that you're in Tatville. If Pixieville is Tatville here. No. Well then I guess bye.
Goodbye.
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 Well, we can't leave our home, so
we'll
I have to go over to Estrella and see how she's doing. She's had a makeover, right?
So for the purpose of brevity,
yes, dear God, please, brevity.
Oh my God, you couldn't have said this 2 hours ago.
For the purpose of brevity, the Feywild and the material plane are now one. You failed.
The dragon was in the dungeon the whole time. And the
shark is for everyone.
The rain hasn't lifted, and you are still, as you come out of your yurts and tents and canopies and the protection of this glade, you're greeted by this constant shower. Kind of makes it hard to grasp how much time has really passed. You genuinely don't know how much time has passed since you came to this pixie village. And a little bit disorientated, where, as you ride down the little goat trail towards the road, where would you like to go? Or what would you like to do? There is a railroad right in front of you, but you don't need to go on
that. Guys, now that how do you feel about? I know that the way that I've potentially gotten some of these powers maybe we will have to deal with that. But how do you feel about
to those terrible powers?
Well, I think the door was left open that I can get, and I need to see if they'll work. I need to see if they can save everyone I love. I kind of think I need to try them.
You won't be careful with that. I know some guys that made deals with those kind of shifty folks. There's always a price, and it's very rarely is it worth it.
I haven't had any dealings like this.
I think that we should go to Agla and solve Iggy's problem. But Arlington, there's something different about you since you came back.
It's the lilacs. I need to be taking them out. I kind of like them, but they're getting soggy in the rain.
It's something else. Your voice is different.
I don't know what you mean, old boy.
Actually, now that you said that, I know exactly what Rian's talking about.
Were you with the elves where you were? We saw some elf before you arrived. Did you go? Were you back in Drift, maybe?
What elf? There was no elf in there. Only elf I know is you. Oh, excuse me, I'm from a different time. Half elf.
But maybe I missed that.
There's all sorts of strangeness goes on in the other world. You can't be sure of anything.
Yeah, I don't even. To be honest, I think back on it in my head. My head kind of hurts.
We've had one of those before.
I know what don't think about it. That helps.
Yeah, I'm trying, but it's sort of hard. And I don't know. I feel like feeling kind of weakened. I don't know. I feel like a sissy.
Arlington, there's a couple of things different about you since coming back. For one, your axe, which where do you keep your axe actually? Just for me as I doodle the loves of my life on scrap paper.
The axe is sheathed on my sword arm side and sort of so that it's like right way up, like blade up top and handle is the wrong word, shaft. Then this way, kind of on the hip, so I can just kind of like pull it out.
Shaft is pointing the same way as your shaft. Understood.
Exactly. Yeah. Dick pointed due north. Axe pointed northeast.
So you hang directly center.
Exactly. Yes. Never waver.
And always face one direction.
Exactly.
Your axe,
the axe is that sort of light blue runic glow that you've noticed anytime you travel to another plane of existence with this axe is now permanently glowing. And you, as memories do flood back to you, you remember wherever you were. Who knows? One day we'll find out. Wherever you were, the axe became awakened. You found something within yourself that sort of exalted this weapon. I've used the two words for two different things, but you know what I mean. Your weapon has leveled up as much as you had. The exact details of that I will share to you. They're boring stats. It's like +2 instead of +1 kind of stuff. A couple of crit benefits, that kind of thing. Things that barbarians like. I will share it in our Discord.
No stats are boring now. I hit 4 times if I want to. These stats are very
I'll share it in the Discord. If people want to join us in the Discord, that's where we'll put the interesting details. We'll put the gory details of Arlington's new axe in the Discord for you and him to find out. But it is glowing. And should you wish, I'll leave this up to you as a character decision. We can have time passing. We can have wherever you were be days, months, years, whatever you want. If you want a sort of like shoot forward in time, we can roll some dice and see how far you went. Or if you want to go, you know what, it was instantaneous. It was like a dream. I was there and I wasn't there. We can either Jumanji this
Could we roll on the wild magic table? Because it's some hook business that sent me around. I want it to be wild, some buck wild dimensional travel.
Who's doing the roll?
I want to roll on your table, and I will find it in my notes.
Sure.
Also in the Discord.
Am I rolling it? Is Wes rolling it? Is it his wild magic? Is it mine?
Oh, it's your magic to send me there, baby boy. You tell me what happened to my body.
Okay.
That's a great
I meant that exactly as it sounds. You don't know what happened there.
That's a clip-outable sentence. That's good.
Okay. I rolled a d20 for no reason, so you got 3. But I'll roll it properly now.
All right.
45.
45. This is. Do I regret writing this in because I didn't think it would come up on the Irish D&D based podcast it is a podcast now. You can listen to us as well as watch us. Podcast / video on demand live stream. 45.
So good at plugging his shit.
Yeah, I know. Illusory rainbows and shamrocks float in the air within 10 feet of you for the next minute. You are Lucky Charms, Arlington. Yeah, Lucky Charms.
I'll be honest. I more meant we could use the wild magic to determine what happened loosely in the other dimension. But I like that there are rainbows. I'm fine with
It's
that.
rainbows. But you
Yeah. You fought a bunch of evil rainbows.
Yeah.
or leprechauns.
So many unicorns. I murdered so many unicorns.
And now that Rian has pointed out that there's something different about you, you start to notice these illusory marshmallow rainbows and shamrocks that are floating around you. And you go, oh, these are just the friends I picked up on my way.
I didn't know you could see them.
Well, that's worse.
Well, okay. I know what'll put you all of these. So I know it seems strange, but this one, the sort of pink one, is Quentin. The light blue one's name is Raquel.
Hello, Quentin. Hello, Raquel.
And then the yellow one doesn't have a name yet. He doesn't talk to me. I'm trying to coax it out. I think it's a he. It's hard to tell.
Are you shy? I go to the yellow one. Are you shy? Oh.
Seems like nuzzle up to your hand.
We've spent too long with fairies. We're clearly attuned to these.
So no time has passed. You are still, or rather, the time in which you were gone is the exact time in which it has passed. So you're not Alan Partridging. Alan, what's the name of Robin Williams? Never mind. I'm getting sidebarred by Robin Williams trivia. That's a different podcast that I'll start another day.
Bicentennial Man? No.
Bicentennial Man.
Pat Adams, right?
Mrs. Doubtfire? Arlington now, Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
I mean,
Jumanji.
There are a lot of similarities there.
This will be okay. Now, theme for a Halloween party: Robin Williams, and everyone is different. Robin Williams.
Up as a Robin Williams.
Every conversation at that party would be exhausting.
For lack of instruction, your horses go the only way horses know to go, which is back home. As you ride along the street towards the city of Drake.
Yeah.
And
hang on, sorry. Did we land on a decision for this whole demon thing? Because I feel like that would have been Iggy's driving force.
Yeah, I was on board with going to.
Yeah. If we're looking for somewhere to go,
going on.
Yeah, I think demon inspection.
We have a couple of things going on though that you might need to order events, especially if we're going back to Drake. And far be it from me to try to be the voice of reason, but we have some kind of deal going with them pirate folk.
Yeah, with the Prince of Kildare, we said we would find out what Rua was up to and report back.
So we saw.
Thing.
Yeah.
So let's do that, and then she can take us to Agla.
That could work actually.
That seems as good a plan as any.
Although, I mean, she seemed squirrely as well.
I don't know. I thought she was fairly straight
that's what
down
you're
the line.
saying. You've been saying that a lot about the powerful women that we meet.
Yeah.
I think you just trust shady people.
Yeah.
I trust powerful women.
I'm realizing.
Forgive me for not being a sexist and for making terrible decisions.
What? Like the
champion of the hunt.
Abby DeVille.
Claire. Yeah, Abby DeVille Claire.
Yeah, she was great. And then Prince of Kildare seems fairly spot on.
And that
I haven't
crazy
been wrong
demon.
yet.
And far be it for me to cast any aspersions on Iggy's mother.
Yeah, she's fucking deadbeat.
We Fae are a bit strange.
Shall we rocket forward deep into plot and the town?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
I think we head towards
React.
towards Drake and towards the dock to maybe find fresh Prince of Kildare if possible.
Or that pub we said we'd meet them in at some non-disclosed time, that maybe it's the right time.
They've just been drinking for a month there.
You mean 3 days ago?
Me both.
Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted because as much as D&D is about discovering something about yourself as players, I'm kind of discovering something about myself as NPCs. There's a trend. Am I a strong and powerful independent woman? Is that me?
In so much as that I'm a jacked bugbear, Ben. We play what we want to be.
Yeah.
Curse my
I'm clearly slowly becoming my character to the best of my abilities, and you do your best.
As I grow it. How long have we been in lockdown? This long. You make your way back to Drake.
Yeah, I had a shaved head to begin with. So. Been a while.
As you near the city, and you're kind of shocked back into consciousness by a whinny of your horse, you notice that the cobblestone road, as you make your way back, the Clockwork Tangerine Road, is completely destroyed and overrun with plant life. You see twisted vines and roots bursting through the road itself, huge potholes where it seems to have kind of sunken into the earth, and around you, vibrant flowers and huge petals bursting with color. Don't worry, not Jumanji flowers. Our Robin Williams bit is done. We've contractually obliged for this episode. We'll pick it up in 2 weeks. Seemingly from nowhere, from like a tear in space itself, you see 3 rabbits with unicorn horns bounce out in front of you and scamper away to safety. Anyone with a passing knowledge in nature, and particularly yourself, Huck, would know these to be almirages, sort of unicorned rabbits.
Everyone else see those unicorn rabbits?
Yes. Anyone else getting a sort of like plane shift here? These all look kind of like that other plane, right? That's not good.
No, you're absolutely right, Iggy. That can't be good. This is the start of it.
Oh no.
There is a wet smell of soot and smoke in the air, and there's sort of, the closer you get to the city, which was a day and a half's ride before, but who knows how long it took you to get here now. And should you wish to save resting up for the night, feel free to. You're about a half day's journey from the city. You can take a point of exhaustion and carry on, or you can rest up for the night as sort of just ominous things are happening around you. Depending on how much teasing information you get tonight.
Yeah.
Plus, we have literally never dealt with the exhaustion mechanic, so fuck it, we can lose a night's sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Mark down a point of exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
Yeah, you're tired.
I have no idea what that means.
My bullshit.
It just means that when you
fail saves, is it?
I think you get disadvantage on all skill checks for the
skill.
Disadvantage on ability checks.
All ability
checks.
And then if there's 6 points altogether. Point 1 is disadvantage on ability checks. Point 2 is half of your speed. 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. 4 is your hit point max is halved. 5, your speed is reduced to 0, and 6 is
Wes, I've missed you. As a rules lawyer at the table, I like you can see how we got off the rails before, right?
I just feel like exhaustion is an underused mechanic. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, it's cool. I assumed it was like -1 hit point, and I thought, we'll definitely take that. Because what have we learned? I just like taking things, yes. What's that? Gifts? Exhaustion? Okay.
None of the merchants, none of the buzz, none of the excitements that greeted you as you left the city some days back are here now. As I said, there is this oppressive thickness of black fog, and just up ahead, you can see a sort of, it's difficult because you can see a sort of amber glow from the city itself. And you hear and see 3 members of the Fianna shouting and roaring about getting access to the city. There seems to be, as you kind of ride up, and you can do what you will with this information, there seems to be a heated argument between them and the city guard, and it's close to coming to blows. They are distracted in and of themselves, but it is a different drift from the happy-go-lucky, bustling economic boom. It is now an economic ashtray.
So this argument is, excuse me, there are, like, could we, in theory, go past them, or are the guards like in front of a closed gate or something, or like could we ignore this and keep going, or does it look like we have to deal with what's going on here?
In theory, you could, to go into the main entrance of the city, you would have to pass these cars. But that being said, it is a city built of trees, and you could easily take a back road into the city.
Okay, so but it looks like effectively a checkpoint, like we've.
Yeah, you've stumbled across a checkpoint of some point.
Can I say straight off the bat, I'm gonna, my bulb of apples. I'm gonna put that on over my ears, to all intents and purposes, a wig covering my rabbit-like ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hand over one of my spare hood and cloak and veil combos. And be like, this might be pretty useful if you want to hide your identity. As I'm putting my own on.
Like a child wearing his father's suit, you were swamped, but it's adorable.
Yeah.
It smells.
Politely.
This is a
prestidigitates
big
it.
turning point for me. I didn't realize I had quite such an odor. And have you all felt this way this whole time?
I have prestidigitated that the whole area smells of mint often.
Yeah, we take it in turns to do that, and
It's like offering you gum. You just
Okay.
really-
Okay. Message received. I will start bathing more. I will invest.
thank you.
Yeah, you're okay. I've never really looked into grooming or anything like that, but I will look into it. Thank you for the
But Arlington,
feedback.
you have a landscaping axe. How could you possibly not look at it?
It's not a manscaping axe. I'm not shaving myself.
You're not a man, so
That's fair.
Would we this seems like an opportunity to find out what's going on.
Yeah,
Can we
I
hear
would
what
say-
they're saying?
Huck would definitely go over and talk.
I grab Hook by the scruff of the neck and just kind of like bundle up and it's like, shh, and kind of like, I want to act. Is there anything like, any market stalls or anything we could pretend to be doing while we're like eavesdropping?
Absolutely. There's a couple of empty market stalls in the lead up to the, like, where someone might sell overpriced stuff that if you just walked 500 meters down the road, you'd get it for a fair price. But
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like clutch Hook like he's American football and his face is buried into my armpits.
I prestidigitate mint.
Sorry. I put him down on the ground.
Two of you, which I think is Arlington and Rain, make perception checks because you seem to be the ones actively listening out.
First roll of the evening.
The two criminals seem a little bit wary of the guards. The two upstanding citizens who've never had a hard day in their life, Iggy and Hook, are ready to just walk their way in. But you two vagabonds, yes, you're rightfully wary.
Go on.
A 16 for me.
And a 15 for me.
You pick up bits and bobs. The rain doesn't make it easy. That perpetual shower that seems to be falling down on top of you. It hasn't lifted your moods in any shape or sense. But you hear something about a disagreement between the Fianna and the High Council of Drift. And it seems like the crux of this argument between the guards and these members of the Fianna, who you gather aren't from the city, they're from one of the outposts nearby, is what side of this they lie. There's a sort of a statement of allegiance. Are they with the treacherous Fianna, or are they with the city guard and the High Council of Drift? Something has shattered this city in the days that you've been
on. Okay. Something has shattered this city.
I think we might need to find out what's going on from some less official people before we deal with guards or free.
Yeah. Agreed. Is there anyone around? Is there anyone around? Like, we're at a market stall. Could we ask them?
There's no one. Like, these are abandoned.
They're abandoned. Okay.
Yeah.
And the only people around are
seemingly
these
guards and these Fianna. And as you listen a bit longer and you take some time, it seems to be that you do pick up, and Reen, you pick up on this because it's like hearing your favorite words. Abbey de Vauclair is mentioned. And you're like, oh, that little...
I know what I need to do.
Okay.
I have the book that Abbey de Vauclair gave me, or she gave me something to communicate with.
Oh, yeah. The you write in and she sees it.
You write in and she sees it.
Not even I remember that.
I love seeing the Ben
Nice.
forgot that. So now I want to know.
I would
What's
like
gonna
to.
happen?
I would like to write in that book.
You up?
That's yeah. I couldn't remember if we went to that well before. I'm pretty sure that's all.
I'm pretty sure we did. I think that's what we said the first time. So.
As Rian reaches out with his notebook, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and be like, maybe don't let her know that we're here and see how she reacts knowing that we're here.
Breezy. Yeah. Keep it breezy.
Yeah, just be cool. Just be cool.
I can help you with the lady folk. I know all sorts of fake tricks. I open with, do you want to be friends? That always works.
So in this, I'm thinking, so Driocht is like, it seems almost on fire. The Fianna are being dismissed by the High Council. Yeah, we don't want her to know that we're around. Is that kind of the consensus of the group? I don't know that's necessarily a bad thing that she knows that we're here.
I think we just want to see how she reacts to you reaching out to her.
Like maybe it's how are
Okay,
things in
alright,
Drift?
Yeah, like if you
Yeah,
say, hey, it's Rian or whatever, and she's like, grabs her guard and is like, hang on, I've just found something. You know?
I think we say
Because if the conversation goes badly and you're like, hey, I'm in town, then, you know, and they're like, right, off with their heads, find them.
I think we say, hey, it's Rian, how are things in Drift?
Yeah.
X.
Fact finding mission.
For the audience, and you don't get to see this because of the crop of the show, but Gavin as a player literally has a book out and is writing in it. And Paul, do not pan down because it's on his lap. So, but I really appreciate it as a DM being like literally texting someone through your very own notes, and that's really sweet. And
do you actually write what you say to her?
Yeah.
You write what she says back.
Can we see? Are we able to see if he's written anything to her in the past? Like, can we see past text?
Look.
I don't think there's been any past text.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering.
At the start.
So it's not like
I don't think we've used this.
There's not like 30 pages of you asking her and no reply. And then we're just
We're about to see the first ever.
Yeah, a lot of red.
Techniques. Just the shading is really, really good.
I would have said that would be the first thing.
It's just an aubergine. You don't know art when you see it.
Rian, you see a singular tick, 2 ticks, blue ticks. You see 3 dots. The 3 dots disappear. Ooh, the 3 dots come back. So it was, hey, it's Rian, how are things in Drake?
Yes.
Yeah. And in front of you, letter by letter, word by word, spells out, Drake is on fire. Brackets, literally. The distillery district has been burning for days. Whiskey, flammable. And these are coming through as individual points.
Then she attaches that community gif with Donald Glover looking at
She sketches them real quick. West side of city under strict lockdown. I have been, and then ... usurped? ? Rua behind this, maybe. She is dangerous.
And then
pirates have attacked.
Okay. I would like to say usurped ... by who? Are you okay?
Nice.
Is it text an R and a U?
R and a U and okay, yeah. We've got to save time here.
Yeah.
In another person's handwriting, you see, who is this? Verify trust.
Who is texting my daughter?
Trust, always verify.
Trust, always verify. Oh. And then I'd like to respond Fresh Prince ?
Someone responds, this is the Fresh Prince? ?
Trust, always verify. Isn't that what the Fresh Prince said to us? No?
Make an intelligence check.
I think the Fresh Prince said something of this, like this to us.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't have anything in my notes because I'm bad at D&D.
9.
9. It sounds familiar. You don't know who said it. And then in Abby de Victoria's handwriting again is this Rian ?
That's an easy one.
No,
guys,
guys. No, I already said, but I think my notes I think notes are wiped away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the other person couldn't say. So I think okay, and guys, feel free. I'm just gonna say I'm on my way, and then close the book and tell the 3 others we need to get to the Fianna headquarters.
Okay.
They were very good to us before. We should.
I think there, outside the smouldering city of Drake, just before this sort of band of arguing guards in Fianna is a perfectly tableau place to end this episode of Homebrew Quest, where we see Hux Punks huddled behind an abandoned merchant's stall. We see just in the distance this fight on the verge of breaking out between the Fianna and the city guard. We see just over the tree line a sort of golden amber glow in where the distillery district is. And as the smoke just sort of covers the screen, it goes, "To be continued." And we will pick this up maybe not in 2 weeks' time, because potentially in 2 weeks' time we're going to do a singular episode with Arlington and a special guest who was also bamped away. Orlando Doom might come back as Quail, as Arlington and Quail's adventures in the Bamped world. Arlington and Quail, real world. As we find out
I like Bamped World. I like Bamped World quite a lot.
As we find out what happened to them wherever they went. That might be in 2 weeks' time, or it might be in 4 weeks' time. I won't make any promises that this bank can't check. But either way, the show will be back in 2 weeks. It just mightn't be picking up exactly where we've left off here. Until then, if you don't already follow us on our social channels, you'll see them on the overlay. They've been there most of the episode, if not all the episode. Check us out.
Literally no excuse.
And on all podcast apps, everywhere you get podcasts, just go on there, follow it, subscribe, all that good stuff.
If you're watching this live,
like
or if you're watching it
on YouTube as well,
do all the things. We are a tiny little show, but we have big dreams. But the podcast is also a great way to recommend us to a friend who, if you're being like, "Hey, check this out," and they're like, "But I like listening with my ears, not my face," then the podcast is a perfect way to get them in on long drives, commutes. If they just don't like the look of us, rude, then that's what the podcast is there for. So do suggest that to friends as an easy way in to this nonsense, and you'll know, and they won't know, that this is where it ends up. 26 episodes from the beginning. So you'll have that on them. Until then, look after yourselves, be kind to one another, be sound, good night, and joy be to you all.
okay, bye.
Welcome back.
So much waving.
Oh, this is fun. I can't wait.